Hello, today is Tuesday, August the 19th.
I'm Bruce Turner in Lynchburg, Virginia.
George, you're up.
I know, I forgot to mute because it wasn't working right. Anyways, I'm George Dodger in Jacksonville, Florida, sitting in the middle of a coffee shop.
I'm Jeff Zeiss in Napa, California, sitting in my little office that's next to a coffee shop called my kitchen.
And I'm Robert Taylor in New Orleans, Louisiana.
Hey, I'm Duke Carrico. Hey, gang, on this edition of Tech and Coffee's Android Journal, the Moto 360 and the Note 4 specs, hey, they've been outed. Hey, just what is YouTube Music Key? And we've learned more about Microsoft's Chromebook killer laptops. All this more in our apps. Good evening, guys. How we doing this evening?
Good evening, Duke.
Good evening.
All right. How's everybody doing, man? Everybody having a good week so far?
Muy bueno.
Sure.
For the Hispanic crowd, yes.
Hey, George.
Yes.
Welcome back to Android Journal, man. It's been a while. And he just froze.
And he froze.
And them college students sucking on the tubes in that coffee shop.
It had.
There you go.
Am I still frozen?
No, you're okay.
Okay. Yes. There's a lot of college students because the college is right across the way. Yeah, between work and moving a couple times since I've been down here, and just living life down here. Yeah, I haven't been able to come into here for a bit.
Yeah. Good to have you back. Hey, guys. Oh, honestly, for about 6 weeks there wasn't a whole lot of Android news. I was just kind of struggling to really find interesting topics. But, man, the last couple of weeks, that's all started changing. So we got a lot to cover, and we got some giveaways that we're going to start here, Robert. And I guess the first giveaway, when we do the apps tonight, we're going to want you guys to write in and tell us which app you like the best. We'll be giving you the address. And what is the winner going to get tonight, Robert?
Mr. Bruce, would you demo for us tonight? Look at that. Yeah. Lovely.
It's lovely.
Tech and Coffee mug. Of course, Tech and Coffee. Got to have a coffee mug. Our first recipient this evening will get a mug just like this one, and we'll send it directly to them. We'll give you the instructions when we get to the app portion of our show.
All right.
My question is which mug? The one he's holding up or his face?
Oh.
This mug is covering my mug, so this is the mug.
That's the mug.
And it is allowed to have tea in there if you want.
And now your normal mug would be having numbers under it, right?
All right, very good. All right, man. Hey, first up, hey guys, the Moto 360 appeared on Best Buy's website this weekend, and we learned a whole lot about this. Real quick, I'm going to knock out some features. First of all, it's going to be compatible with Android 4.3 and higher, just like the G Watch and the Gear. It's going to feature Bluetooth 4.0, voice activation. It's going to feature some vibration alerts, 1.5 backlit LCD, which is 320 by 290, 205 pixels per inch. That ought to be a fairly attractive screen. I don't know. It's going to have a built-in optical heart rate monitor, a pedometer. Imagine this. It even tells time. It's got a digital watch interface. Oh, man. I'm just really excited now. All right. Hey, it's waterproof just barely because, it's kind of like a smartwatch that I had, George, and it was waterproof too, but I wore it into a hot tub by mistake and it doesn't work anymore. Hey, stainless steel case and a plastic case back. It's got a built-in lithium-ion battery pack. I think the biggest surprise about this, guys, it's running a TI processor, and we really haven't seen TI that heavily involved with modern smartphones. I think, what was it, the Samsung Galaxy S3 featured a TI processor, and I believe that's been the last TI processor to come along. Anyway, hey man, hey Jeff, what do you think about this watch, brother?
Well, you know, out of all the smartwatches, obviously this one looks the sexiest, right? It has the most elegance about it. And it's priced within, you know, the marketplace for smartwatches. For, you know, it's in that, it's $250, you know. It's in the range between $200 and, you know, $300. Excuse me. But, you know, the question is, would you buy it? And, you know, obviously some people will. I will not. I don't have a need for it. The only thing that's compelling for me on this whole thing is the heart rate monitor. And that's kind of the only thing that's compelling. I don't really want the notifications on my wrist. I don't want to. I have no need for it. So, yes, it is a nice looking watch. It's nice and round. It has that round interface, and I'm sure it's going to have a, you know, analog or digital face to it. You'll probably be able to pick it. There'll be lots of little widgets that, you know, with my glasses I'd have to have on to see it. So, you know, it's something that if you're in the market of a watch and you want it to look good, I think this is a nice looking watch. You know, it is a nice looking watch. It looks like it's, you know, it's beveled and has a nice tone to it, and, you know, but I wouldn't purchase it. That's just
price wise, Bruce. You've got the LG's $200. I think the Gear is $220, and now this one's going to hit at $250. We don't know when it's going to hit. All we know is it must be soon because it appeared on Best Buy's site. You know, I think everybody agrees this is a more attractive watch, but when I look at the features, I'm really not sure there's $50 more worth of features between this and the LG. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree, and I learned something about this watch, and I'll share my screen when I was watching Leo Laporte on Twit, and that is, if you'll notice on the bottom of this watch where my mouse pointer is, it's blank, and so this screen, they can't do anything with the bottom part of this screen. It's something to do with doing the round screen. You know, if you look at the Pebble or if you look at some of the other square rectangular watches, they're able to utilize the whole screen. But something about creating this watch, this round form factor, you have this little section down here at the bottom that is not usable and addressable, you know, as far as the graphics are concerned. I think the price on it's pretty good. I think it does. It's obviously the nicest looking watch we've seen. But you know what? If I was even remotely contemplating a watch, I'd have to wait until I see, dare I say it, I have to wait till I see what Apple comes up with before I would chunk down this kind of money for any kind of a watch.
I think that's fair. I think that's a very good point. Rob, you got anything you want to add to this?
I can't believe that somebody would plunk down $250 for this kind of watch. I agree. It's the best looking of the bunch that we've seen so far, but I just can't put $250 on my wrist when I can do everything that this does with my phone. Why have two devices? It just, I don't get it. I do not.
You know, regular watchers of this show know that this is one of my deals. I've said all along that, you know, these things are only extensions of our phones. They're really not smart watches. They really are wearables. And I don't want to necessarily call them dumb, but they're worthless without your phone, without that Bluetooth connection.
You know, Dennis isn't here, but I think his phrase is by far the best. They're connected watches. They're not smart watches. They are just, you know, and I think that's the phrase that kind of really describes it. You know, so you have to be connected. You know.
Yeah. When I was watching that show Sunday, one of the guys commented, you know, the idea about the watches, I can tell based on who's texting me or calling me whether or not I want to pull my phone out of my pocket. Well, there's a lot of other ways to figure out that. You can configure notifications for different people, different vibrating frequencies and ringtones and stuff like that. I don't need a watch to tell me whether or not it's worth taking my phone out of my pocket.
And I think on that note, Bruce, you know, I love to use a TV remote control as an example. Okay, would you pay $250 for a remote control for your TV? Some people would, but most people wouldn't. Okay, a lot of people might be lazy, but they might not be $250 lazy to where, you know, man, I'm not going to spend that. I'll get up out of my chair and change the channel. Just real quick, I just want to touch. We obviously know much more about the Motorola 360, then we do the Asus smartwatch. But we've got a smartwatch coming, and I think what's got everybody's attention on this watch is its potential pricing. Most people seem to think that this thing is going to be list priced at between $100 and $150. Okay? Now, I might pay $100 for a TV remote. Probably wouldn't pay $250, but $100 might be reasonable, you know?
But always, you know, when you're using the TV remote, that's a pretty good example. Your TV probably came with a remote. Why would you spend $100 when it adds additional functionality that you can't get out of your existing device? Not one single smartwatch that has been presented yet adds additional functionality. Your phone does all the same thing. That $100 remote does.
Absolutely.
No, the watch makes you a little bit lighter in the wallet.
Oh, well, that doesn't take much these days.
Okay. Hey, listen, we should learn a whole lot more about this in about 2 weeks because evidently at IFA in Germany on September 3rd, there's going to be a lot of announcements, and this is going to be one of them, guys. So I'm looking forward to that, man. I'll still yet maintain that, listen, smartwatches do intrigue me, but I hadn't seen anything yet that's made me want to let go of my money. But, LG at IFA is supposed to be announcing another watch that's going to be more of a high-end watch. So, I'm going to call this Generation 1.5. And let's see, come about this time next year when we've got all of the new model smartwatches coming, prices might be coming down a little bit. They'll be adding more functionality. I might be ready to jump on the bandwagon then.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Hey, man. Also outed is the Samsung Galaxy Note 4 specs, okay? This is also going to be unveiled in 2 weeks. And I want to tell you something, guys. When I was reading about these specs, yeah, Bruce, I got a little turned on. Okay, man? Hey, real quick, I'm going to run down. Of course, it's got all your bands. It's got all your Wi-Fis. We got a 440 by 2560 pixels. It's still 5.7 inches, same size as the Note 3. 515 pixels per inch. Guys, this is going to be one gorgeous display, I'm telling you. Okay? It's got Bluetooth 4.0, a micro USB, 16 megapixel camera. It's running 443 instead of 4.4. Man, that was kind of disappointing. But 443, quad core 2.5. Okay? And get this, man. 4 gigs of RAM on this thing. Okay? I'm telling you, this is one house. By the way, that is the Qualcomm Snapdragon 805 processor. Okay? This thing is a house, guys. I bet you buy this thing out of contract, you're looking at $800-900. But if you're buying it in contract, it's probably going to be the typical $200 to $300. Bruce, you tempted?
Well, you know what? I got to tell you, I'm gonna hold up my Note 2, and I just have to say that this phone has not disappointed me or let me down in any way whatsoever. And if I didn't have a Note 2, then this would really intrigue me because I like the large phone, I like the screen real estate, I like the replaceable battery, and the 4 gigabytes of RAM. Yeah, that really turns me on for sure. But as long as this Note 2 continues to work fine for me, I really don't have a compelling reason to move to something else. So I've skipped the Note 3. Who knows? If something were to happen to this and I'd have to replace it, I'd probably replace it with the Note 4 simply because I've been very satisfied with the Samsung phone.
All right, man. All right. Hey, Robert, I know you've been contemplating jumping ships, man. Would this be the type of phone to make you go to another carrier if you could get it at a deal?
I try not to let my phones drive whether I'm going to jump carrier or not. Unfortunately, being on Verizon, I kind of am stuck in that mode that I have to be careful about what I pick. But between this and the LG G3, I mean, these are leading phones. They really are. And if I'm going to have to start out with a new contract and I'm going to have to buy a phone and it's going to cost me $200 because I tend to buy higher end phones anyway, this would intrigue me. And the reason why I say that more than anything, that 8-core, the octa-core setup, where it's got the 4 cores for general processing, 4 cores for display management and video, it works phenomenally well on my Motos. My Moto has had that for a while, and it really makes for a smooth device. Seeing a Samsung device come out with that setup just means that now I have more choices to choose from, and more phones that are going to give me the kind of performance that I'm used to with my Motorola Droids that I can only get on Verizon.
Fair enough. All right, man. Anybody else want to weigh in on this Note 4? All right, man. I'm going to move on. I am going to move on. Hey, guys, what in the world is YouTube Music Key? I mean, I read that late last night. I kept reading. I mean, I'm sorry, man, but you had Google Play All Access. That was a mouthful. All right. Now you've got what I think is going to happen is YouTube is going to Google's going to combine this YouTube All Access with Google Play Music, and it's going to be called Google YouTube Play Music Key.
YouTube Music Key is what it's called. YouTube.
Yeah. Like I say, I think that whoever came up with that name's an idiot. I'm sorry, Google. Okay, but that's evidently what it's going to be called. Android Police, they broke this as an exclusive. Nobody's denying Android Police. It sounds like it's going to happen at some point in the future. It's going to be a $10 service, but let's make this clear. We're probably going to be getting more than music. We're probably going to be getting some concert footage, maybe acoustic versions of popular songs that are out there. There's going to be some other stuff thrown in. $10 a month. Bruce, you're a long-time Pandora paid subscriber. What do you think about this, man?
It doesn't affect me either way, and I'm going to tell you, I'm going to show you the reason why. On my phone, I've got Google Music. I've got like 8,000 tracks uploaded. I can download as many as I want to, play them offline when I'm flying around. I've got Pandora. I'm a Pandora One subscriber. So I can do a lot of stuff on my phone. If I want to listen to YouTube music, I just use this little app called Streamus. You add that to Chrome. You go up here, search for songs, and I know you like Pink Floyd. So I type in Pink Floyd right here. It goes out on YouTube, and it finds all these. Look, there's a full album, 2 hours and 42 minutes and 19 seconds long. I click it, and it goes over to here, and all I got to do, and of course I can't play it because it's copyrighted. No, you can't see it because this little app doesn't show. I thought I was sharing it, but check out Streamus. My screen share is not showing it popping down in front of here, but it works so good. So on my PC, I can listen to any YouTube artist that I want to, and it's free, and the audio quality is really good.
Plus, it allows you to create playlists, so you can save the playlist as well.
Exactly. Right.
Very good. And by the way, guys, Pink Floyd's coming out with a new album in September. So, hey, Robert, weigh in here, man. What do you think?
Don't mind the little nibble on your backside. It's just $10. It's no big deal. Just a little bit here. But you know what? If we look behind us and we see all these little things trying to get just a couple dollars a month, just a couple dollars a month, it really, if we made that list, it would be long and healthy for a lot of folks. And this, like Bruce says, it just doesn't really make sense. We have Amazon Music, we have Google Music, we have Slacker, we have Pandora, there are so many choices out there for music. To plunk down $10 for a YouTube music service when they already have Google Play All Access, I'm not quite sure what the added value is. Do something different. Make it worth the $10. I don't see that having video makes sense.
I'm with you. I agree 1,000%. I've read this a couple of times now, and I found nothing that makes me want to pay them $10 a month. Now, I will have to say, in all honesty, Dennis DeVoe, I posted this early this morning in my stream, and, he said something, well, you know what, I'm already a Google Music All Access subscriber, so this looks pretty sweet to me. And, I will have to say that it probably, if you're using this now, hey, more is better, right?
Not necessarily, right? I mean...
Well,
because it's going to be an overlap of the same stuff.
There is going to be some overlap there. I will agree. There will be overlap. Yeah. But, let's see where this goes. Now, I'll tell you what, if it was $4 or $5 a month, I might be interested. But I'll be honest with you guys. I think there's still a lot going on behind the scenes trying to get probably a lot of these labels on board with this approach, and these labels have bad taste in their mouth from what Steve Jobs did to them with iTunes. Yeah. So I'm sure this is not an easy negotiation.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit different. I think Google Play is not generating the income it should, and YouTube still has a ton, way more subscribers than Google Plus or anything else, right? More people watch YouTube than probably any other social network, really. I would think.
But it's free, Jeff.
But now they're trying to cash in on percent, so they just get 2% off the top. That's some revenue for these guys, and that it speaks to me that Google Play Services is not, it's not generating the income they wanted. Now they're moving that kind of same service over to YouTube, right? That model, and putting it over there and trying to take another bite of the apple, no pun intended, or actually pun intended. So I think, I think that's what they're doing. And then, did you see in the news that since Google, their stock is up 1,293% from their initial public offering, and this is why. They know how to grab some money from people.
All right.
What's the phrase? Shut up, take my money.
Anybody else got anything they want to add to this terrible naming music service by Google? All right, man. Hey, I'm moving on. Hey, when I read this right here, I really got excited. I mean, I've been looking forward to getting to this point of the show and talking about this, okay? Hey, Microsoft, we've learned more about Microsoft's Chromebook killer HP laptop. Guys.
Stop laughing, Duke. Stop laughing. You're laughing. We can tell. You're laughing.
Actually,
through it without laughing.
Just give me a chance here because I might not be laughing. Let's talk about it first. Hey, first of all, here's what we know about it, guys. It's going to be a 14-inch screen, AMD processor. This screen, by the way, is going to be 1366 by 768 display. It's going to have 2 gigs of RAM, 32 or 64 gigabytes of storage. It's going to be a Windows 8.1 computer, and it's going to sell, guys. It's going to sell for $199. Okay, so let's see here, Bruce. I'm going to let you go first on this one. What do you think, man? A $200 Windows computer?
Well, it's interesting, and it's about time. I mean, this really, this throws down the gauntlet. I mean, I'll tell you, for the same price, I paid that amount of money for my Acer Chromebook, 2 gigabytes of RAM. I've gotten so used to Chrome OS and running Ubuntu on this, and having such a relief when it comes to browser security and viruses. I've got a friend of mine. I do an online small group. Most of you know that. And I've got a guy. He's not been able to join in because his Windows machine is corrupted. And he's in Pennsylvania. If I were there, I'd try to help him fix it. So $200, but it's still Microsoft. It's still Windows. It still has all the exposure to some of the issues. But for $200 in that form factor, when you work for a company like I do, that that uses Windows. Having a little lightweight device like this instead of that 8-pound Dell Latitude is more appealing to me. And
okay,
maybe
let me take it here, and this is what I was talking about, Robert. By let's not laugh just yet. This HP $200 Windows 8.1 machine uses this chassis right here that I've got up on my desktop. This is the HP Chromebook 14. It's going to use the same display as the Chromebook. All right. Now I don't know if it's going to be this color or not, but it's going to be this chassis. And guess what? Do you know how much HP is selling this Chromebook for, guys? $299. The Windows machine is $100 cheaper than the Chromebook with the same display.
But different processor.
It's got a different processor. It's got an AMD processor, absolutely. But it looks like, now listen, if you're Joe Consumer and you don't follow tech like we all do here, and you go into Best Buy and you see that familiar Windows interface for $200, and what's this sitting beside it that only does the internet, what are you going to walk out of the store with?
Well, it's an easier argument for a lot more people, right, that don't understand it. But it is, and I'll give it that. And it's great that they're doing this, and it's good. It's a nice little coup for HP to be, like the premier starting point for this device. But for the educated people that not educated, but people who want more internet access, 13 hours of possible battery life versus 5 to 6 on the HP Chrome on the HP what is it, Steam 14, right? Yeah, so that's a differentiator there. But if you think you're going to be able to run like some high-end graphics like Wirecast or photo editing on this thing, just forget about it. It's not going to happen. It only has 2 gigs of RAM, right? So I don't know. It's great. I think it's good that they're doing it. It's more competition in the marketplace. But does it really stack up to the Chromebook as much? I would say not.
And does this make Google happy with HP? No.
No.
Yeah, and I think Bruce made a very valid point. I think that a lot of us bought Chromebooks because they were inexpensive, but when we started using them, we continue to use them because we don't have the typical Windows hassles. Okay, Chromebooks just work. They boot up fast. They got great battery life. You can do so many things with them. And just like Bruce said, Bruce has installed Ubuntu. I've installed a Crouton. There's so many things that you can do from the Linux side of life that really aren't workarounds. I mean, they really aren't hacks to try to get them to work. They just these things are working. So, but I don't think your typical consumer is going to realize that. They're going to look at, what's familiar, what isn't. This one's cheaper. I mean, let's face it, cheap is why Chromebooks have started selling.
Yes, and the ability of being the instant on and things like, and the great battery life. And who knows, no one has got their hands on this thing and open the lid and see how quickly it boots up and see how it renders and all that all that stuff that's going to take place. So, but I think it's great that they're doing this. This is what they should have done instead of the Scroogle. This was the thing they should have done.
I agree, Jeff. I was just going to say the same thing. The Scroogle campaign was, egg on face campaign as far as I'm concerned. The answer back is come back with a device and an operating system that performs equally as well. And this is where I think this one's going to struggle. It's, it's a shackled processor, okay? Decent display, but not stellar display. Chromebooks are now starting to get into the higher specs, more RAM, more SD storage, higher resolutions. Those types of things, Chrome is moving on in that direction. They're just now scratching the surface where Chromebooks were a year ago. So it's a little hard to compare them side by side at this point right now. But people are also disgusted with the Windows 8.1. So while we say, oh, it's familiar in a way with, I'm not happy with that. I'm willing to entertain something else.
Bruce?
Yeah, Microsoft should always do what they do best. Copy what everyone else does that works. Anyways, I'm going to mute. They're doing a blender here.
Listen, I'll take this dollar for dollar. You see Ubuntu 14.04 with a Unity interface on here. I've got Chrome OS. I mean, I tell you what, the only reason I'm using Windows for anything today is because my work requires it.
Yeah.
George has made me a Linux convert.
Like I've always said, Linux keeps me safe, Windows keeps me employed.
There you go.
Yeah, and the other thing is interesting, they didn't come up with a touch display for that amount of money, right, for any of that, right? Here's, the Metro interface, it's still going to be mouse pad dependent, right? You can't touch the screen. It's going to take all the attributes of people, what they expect to see out of the Metro interface. So, yeah, I don't know. But it's still good. I'm in favor of it.
And guys, let me tell you something. If Microsoft's going to sell Windows machines at $200, I bet we're going to see Chromebooks at $150. I'm just telling you right now.
I agree.
That would be
I'm loving the Chromebook here. I'll tell you. And thank you, Duke, so much for the Chromebook. I'm loving it, man. I love this Chromebook. I've only had it 2 days, and it's almost like I don't put it down except for work.
Very good. For the viewing audience, when I upgraded my Chromebook to the i3 Acer with 4 gigs of RAM, 32 gig solid state drive. Excuse me, I'm starting to break out in a sweat. Woo, man. Yeah, I wanted to. I started looking for someone to pass my old Chromebook down to, and I had a package going out to George, so my wife and I decided to throw the Chromebook, the Samsung Series 3 Chromebook, in that package and shipped it off to George. George, I think you will enjoy it, and if nothing else, you'll probably be wanting to upgrade it before it's over with. Hey guys, let's move on. Listen, we talked a couple of weeks ago. We were all pretty upset. I know, Bruce, you did it as an app vent a few weeks ago. The Facebook Messenger, Facebook was going to break that out, and Messenger's going to become a standalone app now. I've refused to install Facebook on my phone. I know Jeff took a plunge last week and actually uninstalled Facebook altogether on his phone. And this is us. We're a very, very small subset of the general population, because, guys, Facebook Messenger has already been installed over 500 million times. It's the #1 downloaded app on all of Google Play. The Google Play Store, this is the most downloaded app that there's ever been.
It's probably combined too.
Well, you didn't have a choice. If you want a message, they said, "Look, you got to do this." So,
yes.
Let me tell you something that's interesting, though, and I don't know why this is. Okay, I've got Facebook on my phone, and you can see it here. I can still message from the app. I don't get this notification. You can't message anymore. You got to download the Messenger app. Now, I did get it at one time, but I've gone through a couple different upgrades on this Facebook app, and I still have the messaging ability. And if you really want to message, just go to m.facebook.com, and you can still message from your phone. without having to download Messenger.
Yeah, but I think the deal is Facebook is still the gorilla in the room when it comes to social networks, right? That's it. They are the 500 million pound gorilla in the app market. You know.
Right there's what I get, Bruce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder why I don't get that. That's strange.
Because you're more pious.
The honest truth, guys, is I never used Messenger much at all, but I guess what really got me about this Facebook Messenger, guys, you can't turn it off on your phone. You cannot turn it off. You can put it to sleep for a couple of hours to where it won't disturb you, but you cannot turn it off. The only way to turn it off is to uninstall it.
Well, that's kind of like some of the Google Hangouts notifications. You can't turn it off. You have to leave it to get stuff to you.
Yeah. For people that don't know, if you've got multiple devices, when someone invites you to a hangout and about 10 of them go off, it doesn't quit just because you enter the hangout. All your devices still continue to vibrate, buzz, and sing to you.
I love the multi 3 a.m. wake-up calls I get from all my devices all over the place.
Yeah, that's a good time. That's a good time. And those are also the people that are blocked as soon as I can get my eyes back open. Yeah, man. Hey, Facebook Messenger, over 500 million installs, and just in I mean, literally a few days. That's incredible. And it does, Jeff. It speaks volumes to the power of Facebook. It really does.
It also speaks volumes to how people don't read the very permission requirements that Bruce highlighted in his rant. Because if you really read it and understood it, those 500 million people would be going, "You want to do what? Stop."
Yeah. And guess what? This is just the Android side. There's the iOS side too, right?
Right.
Yeah, I don't know how many downloads for that there. So that's got to be crazy.
Hey guys, this is you've really given me a good opportunity to vent. So I'm going to go ahead and vent here. First of all, Bruce really brought this to our attention a few weeks ago, and I took that article and I posted it on my Facebook to let everybody know, hey, just be aware of this. I think I got 2 comments and 1 share, and everybody totally ignored it, okay? But do you realize the people that are on Facebook that tell me all the time when I talk about G Plus and how much I like it, and they tell me that Google is evil and there's no way that they're going to share their information with Google, and they're telling me that on Facebook, guys. They're telling me that from a Facebook message. Okay, go figure. Who's done this? Who has gone to Amazon and looked at something and then opened up Facebook and saw that advertisement right there on Facebook for what you just looked at over on Amazon? Okay? You don't think Facebook is looking at everything that you do on the internet? Goodness gracious.
Absolutely. And they all do that, dude. But I think nobody recognizes the need for privacy until they become a victim of identity theft, or their privacy or their personal information gets out into the public. That's when all of a sudden they say, wait a minute. But if you look back over the history of time, those same people have said, yep, share it. Yep, go ahead and do it. Yep, I want to play this Angry Birds game. Go ahead and click it. And they do not think about the ramifications, long-term ramifications. This is not like instantaneously tomorrow your identity is going to be stolen, but somewhere down the line over the course of 2 years, when you find out that your daughter is pregnant because Target all of a sudden is sending diaper advertisements to her phone, and you say, how dare Target do that? But yet we encourage people to install apps, and meanwhile, Google and Facebook and Amazon, all of them are just sitting back there going, yeah, go ahead and do it. Just go ahead and do it. Just go ahead and install this app you got to have.
And it's not so much, and I agree with the identity theft thing, but I think for me, it would be the spam thing. Once your email gets, out to a spammer and they share that, oh man, it could be very painful, and it'll just never stop. You'll have to be blocking all these emails from everywhere. So I think, it ranges in, different pressure points, from the identity theft is the big, bad thing, but then there's all these other things that are just nuisances all the way down the line that you will possibly get opened up to, just like you said, ads, spam, email spam, professional emailers. It's bad.
Well, my favorite one
you get spoofed.
The best is that not only do you affect yourself, but because Jeff gave permission on his phone for Facebook to read his contacts, now all of a sudden I'm getting spam from Facebook that says, hey, Jeff Zayas likes this app, you should install. So now I get bombarded, not necessarily just by something I did, but by something one of my friends shared information
Perhaps you'd like to play a game called Orange Crush.
Yes, absolutely. I want to do that right now.
And I want to get that notification every day, maybe two or three times a day. That'll be fun.
That you need a pig to get to the next level.
Yeah.
Hey guys, let's move it on. Hey guys, we are Tech and Coffee. We are a Google Plus hangout. We get together daily. And you need to go to techandcoffee.info and look at the hangout information. We would love to have you come and join us. We love to talk tech. We cover the spectrum, man. We talk about web development. We talk about the latest trends in tech, social media. Goodness gracious, routers. We'll troubleshoot one another's problems. Sometimes we fix them. Sometimes we don't. But, hey, man, we're a laid-back bunch, and grab your favorite beverage. Come on over to techandcoffee.info. Check us out. We've also got a Twitter and a Facebook. Catch us at Tech and Coffee 1. Our YouTube page is Tech and Coffee. You can catch this podcast on Stitcher Radio and iTunes. And we're getting ready to do some apps. And you need to let us know what your favorite app is. We're going to put all the names that respond into a digital jar, shake it up, and pull out a name. That winner will receive a Tech and Coffee mug, as Robert is showing you there. Absolutely, man. So,
they have to email you at aj@techandcoffee.info.
Yes, they do.
Yes, they do.
aj@techandcoffee.info. Absolutely. Hey, Bruce, what kind of app you got for us this evening?
All right. This is nothing flamboyant or anything, but my app is Bubble Level. Bubble Level, and I'll share my screen and let you see what it looks like. But my wife, we have a distiller. And in order for this distiller to work right, it has to be level. And we had some problems with it not working, not getting a full yield of a gallon out of this thing. And so she wanted me to make sure it was level. So I went ahead and I said, I've seen these apps before. So I downloaded Bubble Level. And if you can see on my phone, if I tilt it this way, the bubble goes the other way. And somebody said, by the way, you're fat, Bruce. And I said, no, I'm not fat. I'm well focused. The bubble's in the middle. Anyway, I'm on the level. That's what it goes. So I took this little thing, I laid it down on that little cart and made sure it was level, put the distiller on there, and it was working just great. So real simple little tool. If you need to level something, I didn't have to go into my toolbox and pull out a level. I was just able to use that app. That's just a very, very practical little tool. No reason for you not to have Bubble Level on your phone along with a good flashlight app. Those are just practical good things.
Absolutely. I use my flashlight app all the time. George, do you have an app to share with us tonight?
I sure do. It's an app that goes off every day. Sorry about the music and possible blunders going off in here. But it's an app called Rain Alert, and I don't know, you probably can't see it in this light in here. It costs. I think it's a couple dollars. But it goes off every day here, at least 20 times when rain flies all over here. It's usually pretty good because it'll go off. It'll alert me. It'll shake and it'll do a noise alert if I want to too. And it usually lets me know right here in Jacksonville and it shows me where the storm's going to be centered and where it's coming in from. And it's really kind of cool, actually. Sometimes it's tricked me though. Usually when it goes off, I go running for cover. I know I have about 5-10 minutes. So.
Very good. Very good. What's the name of that?
It's called Rain Alert. Well, it's Rain Alert.
Very good. Rain Alert. All right, Jeff, what do you got for us, man?
Well, as you guys, well, some people know, I try to cycle a lot, and I've been using an app called MyTracks for a long period of time, and then for the heck of it, I downloaded the free version of Runkeeper. And this runs both on iOS and Android. And, at this point, it's bye-bye MyTracks. Hello, Runkeeper. What I liked about Runkeeper, it does all the intervals. Because I was cycling today. This is how it shows me all the splits for every 5 minutes, where I was, how long it took me to get there. It tells the average moving time, my average speed, how many calories I did. Pretty much the same as MyTracks, except this gives you notifications, audio notifications through your headphones every 5 minutes, and tells you what your pace is and tells you how far you've gone, and that just kind of pushes you faster because you want to beat your time. So it was a great app. There is a it's a fee if you want the professional version that interfaces to Fitbit and everything else, and you can join their website and upload this information to your own the Runkeeper website, and you have the ability of basically telling it, these are my goals, and it would track it and do all those things. For $10 a month, I'm not going to do that. This is exactly what I want to do. What I want to do is try to beat my time. I want to see, what my average, miles per hour is, So that's what I'm shooting for, and it's a great little app. I'm going to use it every day now instead of MyTracks, and it's perfect. Just for, I'm going to probably see if I can show you what MyTracks look like for the same exact ride that I did yesterday. Hold it. I'll go over here, and it's pretty much the same information, but it doesn't tell you as you go, and it doesn't announce it as you go, which it does. As you can see, my speed here was it was a little windier actually today than yesterday, and my average movie speed was 14.5 miles per hour. But since the Runkeeper was telling me every 5 minutes how fast I was going, I had the best time ever because it kind of forced me to be aware and kind of push it a little bit. So I really, really liked it, and I'm going to continue to use it. So
very good.
MyTracks is fine, but this is way better.
But Runkeeper looks very good, Jeff. I will have to say that I lucked up and got the Cardio Trainer Pro app, the $10 app, and everything that you bragged about Runkeeper, I can say that is included in Cardio Trainer Pro, except the website upload interface. But it will feed intervals to you, and you can actually pick how often you want those intervals, and it'll come up and it'll say 3 minutes, 900 yards.
So it gives you audio response to your headphones because you're wearing headphones. Yeah, that's great. And how much is that at?
They've got a free version, but then there's the $10 gives you all of the extras, and you can set a playlist, and it'll pull from the playlist, and it will still talk over the music if you want to do that route. So, but yes, listen, I've heard very good things about Runkeeper. But I just wanted to throw that out there that,
I'll look at it.
just to encourage the audience, they might want to check them both out. Absolutely.
Now, is that GPS or as well where it shows
Yes,
it on the
yes,
map?
yeah. It grabs the GPS, and when you're done and you turn it off, it gives you all your stats and keeps them. I can pull up my stats right now and show you. And just like you said, what's really valuable for that is when you're doing the same route, daily, or, it really gives you a great opportunity to compete against yourself and gives you intervals to let you know how you're doing.
Right.
It makes for a great workout, I agree. Mm-hmm. Okay, man. Hey, Robert, what do you got for us, man?
This week I'm going to pass.
All right, very good. All right, guys, I guess that leads to me. My app this week is called SPMC. Now, what is that, you might ask? It sounds kind of familiar, doesn't it? Sounds like an app that we've all talked about here on Android Journal, something called XBMC. The trouble with XBMC was it was a port for Android, okay? And because it was a port, you couldn't get it in the Google Play Store. You had to sideload the app. It was a little bit laggy, a little bit slow. One of the developers for XBMC has taken it upon himself to make an Android version of XBMC, and it's called SPMC. And you XBMC users that have experienced the Fusion zip from xbmchub.com, I have good news. It runs just fine on SPMC. The beauty of SPMC, because it is a full Google app, and because this full Google app is in the Play Store, it is automatically updated when updates become available. Guys, I've been running this program now for about 7 or 8 days. Absolutely, positively love it. I have uninstalled XBMC off of my Android devices and am only sporting SPMC now. Guys, I cannot tell you how much I love this app. It's brand new on the Google Play Store. It's only got 65 reviews right now. Those 65 reviews are giving you 4.5 stars. Check it out, SPMC. All right. Hey, guys.
And all the channels work well.
If you've run Fusion on XBMC, you install it the exact same way, and it works the exact same way just like it would from your PC. Absolutely. You can do, it's even got the quick start to where it installs all of that stuff for you. If you've run it before, guys, you know what I'm talking about. One channel, NaviX, Project Free TV, there's music channels, there's all kinds of stuff that you can just, with a couple of clicks, you've got it installed. And yeah, it's a great app, guys. I highly, highly recommend you check out SPMC.
One last question: Did they toss in Chromecast?
Chromecast is not available at this time.
Oh, and one last correction from me. It's actually Rain Alarm OSM Pro. It goes off every day. I see the stuff and I run, but I got it wrong. Sorry.
No problem, no problem. Okay, let's see here. Have I closed it? Probably. Hey, guys. Let's hit the grab bag here really quick if I can find it. I had a comment from a guy. Basically, he said he enjoyed the Chromebook discussion, and I apologize. I don't have that in front of me, but the gist of the reply was he enjoyed the Chromebook discussion and was about ready to buy one, and he appreciated our input on last week's show. So that was George Hayes, and George, thanks. We love feedback such as that. And good luck. I'll tell you what's the truth. I'll still yet maintain that out of all I've looked at, that Acer C720 with the Celeron Haswell like Bruce is sporting, 2 gigs of RAM. It's hard to beat that one for $200. You can spend more and get more, but you're going to be hard-pressed to get as much Chromebook for $200 as what is sitting inside that Acer C720. Bruce, would you concur?
I would.
Or upgrade for $40 more and get the 4 gig.
Or you can wait and buy an HP Windows 8.1 for $200.
Or you can void your warranty and take the back off and put a 128 gigabyte SSD card in there instead of that 16 gig.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I got a little carried away there.
Hey, guys. Wipe your mouth, Duke. You drew and...
Hey, guys. Listen, one more time before I sign it off. Hey, go check us out at techandcoffee.info and come hang out with us. We're a daily hangout in there. We normally get rolling about 7, 8 o'clock in the morning anymore, and we run on up into the night. There's people from all over the world come in. We love to talk tech. Hey, catch us on Twitter and Facebook, Tech and Coffee 1, YouTube, Tech and Coffee. Hey, search for us on Google Plus and look for that T&C coffee cup logo. Absolutely. Hey, man, catch Android Journal on Stitcher Radio and iTunes. And be sure and email us. Let us know what was your favorite app of this week. AJ at techandcoffee.info. And next week we will be announcing the winner of a original Tech and Coffee mug. Hey, guys.
We won't send you the one off of Bruce's head. We'll send you a brand new one.
Hey, later, gang.